Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail. Today we're going to be playing some Hearthstone, and specifically, I've been waiting for a while, just opening packs, hoping to play a particular deck, and that deck is Handlock. So today we're going to be taking a look at Handlock because I finally picked up my second Mountain Giant. I didn't craft either of these, but we're going to be playing a pretty basic standard Handlock. What I like about this deck is that it plays very differently than a lot of the rush decks that I tend to play. And it has a lot of answers. It has some interesting counters to it as well. But we're just going to try and give it a whirl, talk a little bit about the deck, show what it's all about. I will tell you once again that while I have paid attention and read a lot about Handlock, I have not been playing it for a particularly long time. So as always, I welcome comments, criticisms on my play. So without further ado, let's look at the version of the deck I'm using. And you can see I am not using Alexstraza. Part of the reason is that I don't have Alexstraza, but I'm not in a rush to craft her right now because honestly there's so many rush decks and burst decks on ladder that A, a lot of the rush decks Alexstraza is too slow, and B, if you're getting wombo comboed by any of the one-turn kills that can come up, the 15 life is not going to make a huge difference. It's one way to put down the clock for the other, but Alexstraza is better in a control versus control matchup. So let's talk about Handlock. The idea behind Handlock is you want to get as many cards in your hand as possible, which Divine Favor Paladins love, but we'll maybe see that today, I don't know. But you get your giants here, your Molten Giants and your Mountain Giants. Pretty much those along with Twilight Drake, those are your key cards here. Twilight Drake and Mountain Giant are cards that you want first if you're playing against a deck that is likely not going to be rushing you down. You want to hold them till turn 4, then drop them. Molten Giants are a late game play here. You want to actually have your health reduced by quite a bit. And this is where you see, I've talked about before, the strategy of holding a Handlock opponent at 15 health. That limits what he can do with Mountain Giants. But some other cards here. Not everyone runs Mortal Coils. I run them right now because they're usually pretty useful for cycling through a card. And in a pinch, you can use them on your own minions. So if you really need a card and a minion's not doing a lot, that's useful. Soulfire's always good. Usually try and save him as a finisher. Ancient Watchers, which I've played a lot in Priest in the past, but because I can draw so many more cards with my Warlock hero power, I tend to run into the things I can activate, including Ironbeak Owl, Sunfury Protector, Defender of Argus, and sometimes even just putting an Ancient Watcher down on turn 3 if you're going second. And just leaving it there can make your opponent react by quite a bit. And I only run one Ironbeak. I'm debating running 2, but I'll talk about some of my card choices as well. Earthen Ring Farseer is just a very useful 3, especially late game, to bring yourself back up to health, which is, since we don't have Alexstraza, that healing is going to be important. Siphon Soul's another healing mechanic, plus actually killing an opponent's creature, getting rid of their big targets. You see I don't have Big Game Hunter. That's next on the list to craft. I don't have the Black Knight, which is probably good in this deck, but I'm going to try Big Game Hunter first. 2 Faceless Manipulators are very important, just from the standpoint of copying giants, or to a lesser extent, copying Twilight Drakes, or to an even lesser extent, copying Ancient Watchers. You want to try and save those for that, or for one of the best finishers that Warlock has here, which is Leroy Jenkins, Faceless Manipulator, Power Overwhelming. That's 20 damage for 3 cards. Not too bad, but because it's a very simple situational wombo combo, I don't try and put into Power Overwhelmings. Although Power Overwhelming is also very good for Shadow Flame. Now, in terms of AoE, I do have 2 Hellfires and 2 Shadow Flames. And I also have 2 Tazdingos. The reason for that is really because of the fact that I do see so much aggro and so much just little creature decks all the time. Hellfire is a very good counter to that. Having a quick taunt like this that you don't have to activate with the Sunfury Protector or a single Defender of Argus, which I've debated putting 2 in, but the reason I don't is that if you don't have things to taunt, it is a 4-mana 2/3, and that stinks. So 1 off is good enough. At least Sunfury Protector is a 2 for 2/3, if nothing else. So it's here. There's our cards here. I have 2 Shadow Flames and 2 Hellfires, specifically for AoE right now. Otherwise, that's pretty much the deck. This is a very synergistic deck. I heard some commentary during DreamHack that this is the kind of deck that there's usually one right play and a bunch of wrong plays, and if you don't see that right play, we're going to be having some problems. So I haven't played as much as I'd like this season because I've been busy, so I'm only rank 14, but on the other hand, I had a massive losing streak with the deck that got me up to rank like 6 last season, so apparently that checks out. And so far been doing okay with Handlock, but that was yesterday, and as we know, today, a different environment. We'll see what the lunch crowd is going to be like today, but Handlock, we're going to talk through the matchups here, talk through decision making. That's kind of what I like to do, give y'all a sense of what's going on in my mind. So I imagine we're going to be going right against Zoo up front. Against Warlock, I always mulligan for Zoo. So while Ancient Watcher Defender of Argus is nice, Mortal Coil's okay versus Zoo, I feel like I should mulligan very aggressively for Hellfire. So we'll see if we pick that up. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't mind if I lose this opening matchup. Okay, I get a 3-play and a 4-play, if nothing else. So I'm guessing this is going to be Zoo. If it is Zoo, we're not necessarily going to be doing the standard play here because Handlock is a... you want to tap, 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 turn 4 something good. But right now I don't have a great turn 4 play. So it could just be Tazdingo, which is what the Sedgen's Shieldmaster says if you're unfamiliar with that. But right now, let's see here, yep. So we have a rush deck, and the question is going to be, is my AoE buried this far in? So right now I am going to tap. I could go for board presence, but I'm not going to panic at this point. Because good things happen when you search for cards. Like next turn, I can play an Earthen Ring Farseer, assuming he's going to attack. So, Knife Juggler, not awful, but I'm really going to be needing some AoE soon. Twilight Drake. If I had coin, I could go ahead and coin it out, but instead I'm going to try and heal myself a little bit, because ideally, if it's a slower matchup or a control matchup, you want to be able to build up this kind of creature or something. But because this is a rush deck and I don't have any AoE in hand, I need to drop something here. So I'm not going to have a max health Twilight Drake, but still a pretty good one. One that if it survives into another turn, I could potentially play the Sunfury Protector and do that. So if this is a proper Zoo player, he's going to try and control this down one way or another. But we'll see. We'll see. You don't always get what you expect from people. Still, I would love to draw a Hellfire. That would be a very useful draw. So holding on to that. There we go. Not terrible. And he's going to coin out something else cute. Would love a Hellfire top deck right now. Am I going to get a Hellfire top deck? No, but he's going to put me in giant range pretty damn fast here. So normally I'd play the Twilight Drake here, but since I can't taunt it up right away and I feel like I do need to slow down this pressure a little bit, I'm going to play the Shield Master. Because this can overwhelm me. It can. So maybe a misplay not playing the Twilight Drake, but you know what? At this stage, with this much on the board and without AoE, there's not a lot I can do. So like I said, I show games. I do want to show just kind of the first off. Sometimes this is what you get against Zoo, too. Sometimes they get an incredibly good draw. I got a very poor mulligan. Okay, so there's his first taunt as well. And that was a very fortuitous Knife Juggler. Not too surprising. And now at least we're going to be able to taunt Giant. Unfortunately, I have ditched some cards here, so... Alright, 5 mana. There's really only one play, it feels like. And that's a play I almost did backwards. Alright, so let's see here. He still actually has enough to bust through this. Well, I thought there was a pretty bad lag delay there. We'll see if I can stabilize. I don't have another Taunt Maker. So if I don't get something in the next turn... Oh, Doomguard. Cute. Alright. Is that still going to be enough to take this guy out? Maybe. He's holding on to the Knife Juggler, which is pretty decent. And now, if I Hellfire, I'm down to 1. There's a Soulfire. That'll have to do. Alright, how do we want to break this down? Can't play you. Can play you. Can play and tap. Feel like I should try and get some health here. I hate destroying this with a Soulfire.
So many possibilities.
But I feel like that's the most efficient use, just to take those down. I can clear his board at least. It leaves me with 1 health, but... You know, this is at the stage of the game where I have my anti-handlock cards right here. I don't care what gets ditched at this point. That's probably the best card to get ditched. And I have 2 Twilight Drakes that are going to come up as 4/4s, potentially. And there's a lot of ways he can kill me. So what I need right now is for a dead turn like that. That'd be good. Ironbeak Owl, also decent. I don't really want to tap here, though, so we're not gonna... Let's see here. What other things does he have to silence other than this taunt?
I got this.
Not a lot. But yeah, Zoo's scary sometimes. See, that's worth silencing. Alright. There's my Hellfire, only how many turns too late? I cannot Hellfire now or I'll dead. If I tap, I die. Let's see. So I can Faceless. That's a start. And if I silence the Argent Squire, that should take out the Divine Shield. I feel like that's something I should know that I actually don't know. But there's a lot of ways this guy can kill me right now. So we're just gonna hope for the best. And expect more. So, did that take out the Divine Shield? Yes, good. Okay. So we are still alright.
I got this.
Oh no, I can't actually kill this. Well, I can. It's just gonna hurt. Okay, he can put me to 1. I forgot that Doom cards have 7 health. I really need to... I need a Molten Giant, and I need something I can taunt with. Okay, that's not what I need. Oh well. Yeah, that's what happens against Zeus sometimes, is that it's about a 60-40. I usually win these matchups, but I usually get some kind of AoE. Alright, this lets me fight another turn. The real pisser is that no matter what, these guys are gonna do me in, so... Let's see here. Because I have to heal the Hellfire, which means that guy dies. Alright, well, you know what?
Eyes are open.
I could tap for Shadow Flame. But I need the move that's going to guarantee my survival another turn, so... Let's do this. How many more times can I afford to clear my board? Oh, so painful. And if I had gotten that like 5 or 6 turns before, it would have been a lot better, but... Like I said, all he needs is a Soul Fire. There are so many ways he can kill me right now. Even if I can't deal with that, I die. I'm dead. I'm pretty much dead. Oh well. Oh, Leroy Jenkins! That's not going to be enough. Okay. Oh well, that's Zoo and a Mountain Giant, a little too late. I held on, at least that. So, what did I not get that matchup that I normally get here is I lose a star, because, yeah, like I said, I got on a little more winning last time, but if you look at the deck list again, let's hear, there's a lot of taunts that I could get that I didn't get. There's a lot of AoE that I could have gotten that I didn't. That was buried in the bottom of my deck. Sometimes you get bad draws, and that's one of the biggest things, just in terms of playing other people, is that sometimes you just don't get it. And sometimes Zoo's just going to stomp you. And that's why people play it. I like it okay, I just don't feel it's very consistent.
Your soul shall be mine.
Alright, so I'm going second and I get a Twilight Drake. This is a really nice start. I doubt this is an aggro priest or rush priest. And I really like Twilight Drakes in the priest matchup because most of them don't run silences nowadays. And I have a good turn 3 play with the Earthen Ring Farseer. I could coin tap. Some people say that's a really good thing to do. I'm not that next level of a player yet, so we'll see. Is this the same player I was playing last time? I don't think so, but yeah, I do like the priest matchup. You have to eat the Shadow Word deaths, but that's how it goes. Oh my god, I didn't tap.
That was
I didn't tap. Noob fail. Alright. Oh, God. Well, I'm going to keep going anyway, because Jesus. Okay, I guess I'm not playing anything turn 3, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, and a Mountain Giant. Okay, now typically I like playing Mountain Giants over Twilight Drakes, but in this, I'm actually going to play the Twilight Drake first, because once again, the whole shield issue. So, not tapping, total noob move. I could have already had a 3-3 on the board, significant misplay. And that's what I get for not having this, like, muscle memory going on. So now that's a 3-3 that could have dealt with that. Some Fury Protector is actually really nice. You know what? Actually, I always say I'm going to play the Twilight Drake, and then I'm not going to. I'm actually going to make it significantly weaker. Because of that Sun Fury Protector top deck, plus if he Cold Light Oracles, which I never see Priest run Cold Light Oracle. But if for some reason he decides to do this, coin, taunt. Alright, we're in better position. So there's a lot of ways that he can knock that down, whether it's Shadow or Death, whether it's something else. And you can use your Farseers to actually heal things up here. So he's going to bring it down to 6. Got another Mortal Coil here. What you really like about Mountain Giants and what's really important for me... I'll actually play Shadow Word Pain. Don't see that as much lately. What I really, really like about Giants is the significant card advantage that you get. But another question that you got to ask yourself anytime you're playing is, really, are you going to tap this turn? And I could go after the Chillwind Yeti here. And that feels like the right play to do. But I can also double Mortal Coil to draw some cards, which is pretty important. And Farseer here, if I attack the Harvest Golem. So I'm not going to tap this turn. You always want to play through your turn in your head and tap first. Or, I don't know, in my time, actually tap it all. So let's do this. Then we will... might as well see what cards we get first. Probably not going to change the play here. So Mountain Giant, or Molten Giant, excuse me. And I'm always amused by the Molten Giant card art, because that is the new update card art, not the when I used to play Molten Core once upon a time, what that looked like. But this does leave a really nice Argus Ancient Watcher play next turn. And yes, the Chillwind Yeti's still there, and yes, he could Power Word Shield it, or I forget the Priest card that makes attack equal to defense. But like I said, I want to try and get as much card advantage with this Giant as possible. There we go, eat another Shadow Word Pain. Now both of those are on. I can do that with a little bit more impunity. There's also something to be said about a Shadow Flame play right here, which may not be bad. We're going to hold off on some things here. Let's see here. Because I can Watcher Taunt, and that's my turn. I can Twilight Drake Watcher, which is not bad. I can tap Drake. Well, this does take him into death range, but if he had death, he would have used it on the Mountain Giant by now. So what we're going to do is take out the Tazdingu. Go ahead and do it this way. Make sure those drop down, because positioning is still an issue that I have sometimes. And there we go, we're at 3 for 1 on that card so far. That's all you really want from your early Giants, is just card advantage, card advantage, card advantage. I remember when I was playing Scrolls before, and someone was like, dude, you need to pay attention to card advantage. Holy no, that's really good if that's the only play he has right now.
For a little blood.
Okay, so... is that worth health firing or soul firing? Not really. I could Faceless this guy. And I have multiple taunts. Let's tap first, I guess, because that'll help me figure out my options here, because he right now has to beat through this guy at some point. It's probably just going to be a Drake. Not the most mana efficient thing. Faceless Manipulator would use all my crystals here, but I would much rather Faceless a Giant or a Drake than something that can be Shadow or Death. So Siphon Soul, not bad. He's probably got some bigger creatures to drop a little bit later. So first Drake. Let's just go for face. Because right now, actually, I'm really impressed. I've drawn way more cards than this guy has. That's not typically how this goes. So,
My eyes are open.
Alright. Do I AoE here? Probably not. Do I play second Drake? Probably. I could Shadow Flame. And, could Shadow Flame the Watcher. Trust that he's not going to have any charges that'll take me down quite a bit. And keep my board. If I do the Shadow Flame play, I can still drop a Drake. And it keeps this guy from getting deathed. I like having my taunts, but I like having board control more. That is a 3-for-1. It does get, like I said, it does get rid of my taunt. But he's already hurt a little bit.
So many possibilities.
It's better than the Hellfire here, I'd say. So, let's do it. I don't want to Shadow Flame a Twilight Drake because they're still beefy and I still have some taunt makers. So let's do it. Yes. 3-for-1. And unimpeded damage. Turn 9, I can Faceless Taunt again. If it comes to that. Holy Nova, once again, very good if that's his only play. Oh, does he have a Circle of Healing? No, he doesn't. Okay. Okay. There's not going to be too many bigger threats than this from the Soul Priest, so... I've already used both of my Mortal Coils. Let's go and tap. Second Soulfire, not bad. That's going to be a pretty good finisher, so let's go ahead and Siphon Soul. I know it takes me out of Molten Giant range a little bit, but right now I don't want to mess with that. So 2 Drakes. Still got a Faceless I can use. We'll have to see if he starts to Holy Fire these things and heal up. There we go. That's why you save your soul fires, I guess. I actually kind of want me to hit me in the face. There we go. There we go. Alright, so what do we do? Let's go with Mountain Giants. Molten Giants. And I'm not tapping here because I am going to be soul firing first. Good. And I've actually got to pause this. I'm so sorry.
So many.
Alright, so all I did was attack there. And I'm just going to tap anyway because I'm down to 11. And, you know, actually I don't need to tap, so I'm not going to. I like the cards that I have. I don't want him to be able to super kill me all of a sudden here. Because there are a few things he can draw into that can do 11 damage to me. There's not many things he can draw into that will do more than that. So Light Spawn, not too bad.
I have no time for games.
And pretty much that's good game. So Rag is out. Not even going to try and be him anything too much other than doing max damage. Yay. Alright. So sorry about the brief interruption there, but win-loss. Let's see if we can do one more and kind of... You've seen how this deck plays against aggressive decks, albeit without getting the right draw. More control-y deck. If you get to the late game, this deck is fantastic. We'll hit the player ranked again here as soon as I can make sure that I'm not going to get interrupted again. So, hang tight. Alright, so let's see. We got one more. I think we got one more match in this. Let's see if I can actually demo a deck and win more than I lose this time. Like I said, maybe next season I'll make a concerted effort to rank up, because this season just ended up getting blown up by work. I told myself, yes, I was going to do it. And then the Token Druid deck that I was doing so well with is kind of crushed under the weight of all these decks that are down in the lower ranks. So, gotta find something else that works here. And let me tell you something about Handlock. Handlock supposedly has a horrible, horrible matchup against Hunter. Horrible matchup against Hunter. Especially Face Hunter. And maybe I should have kept the other 2-drop there. So we're going to see. This could be a really quick game. But at least we've seen one game where it works, because, yeah, Priest. Priest has become a little bit more popular since DreamHack, so that's nice. That's a really good draw for 3. I don't know if it's going to be worth delaying my Giant here, because I don't have the coin for that flexibility. But this time I will remember to tap. There we go. This is the very least a mid-rangey, if not rush aggro deck here. So I could Soulfire, derp. Ancient Watch will be good. What's going to be key here is stabilizing and getting Taunt Makers up. And what I don't want is a bunch of freezing traps. But he's going to get my health down low, and I'm just going to have to deal with it. It's good that he's not playing a bunch of other stuff right now. So Molten Giant, pretty good. Faceless Manipulator, good. So next turn's going to be a Mountain Giant. If he has Deadly Shot, that's too bad for me, but that's how you roll. Kill command, so he is going straight for face. Alright. Oh, Mortal Coil is going to be really fun next turn, too. Let's see. Well, it's definitely going to be a Mountain Giant this turn. Now you got to watch out, because this deck does tend to put a lot of creatures on the board. There we go, Deadly Shot. Was worried about it, and that's what happened. And what's he going to coin out now? River Croc. Okay, so once again, don't have coin. Power Overwhelming. Don't really have Shadow Flame. I'm tempted to Molten Giant here, just to see, but I feel like there's a better play lurking out there. But if I Molten Giant now, I get it out now. I don't have any Taunt Makers, and I'd love to draw into one. So this is one of those things where, once again, you really want your AoE if you can get it, but barring that, you just do what you can. So he's used one kill command. This is looking like a... well, River Croc seems to be more of a popular addition to Hunter. I guess it's kind of a Sunshining Hunter deck. I haven't actually caught him on stream in a long time. It's like every time I catch him, he loses, and he seems to always stream in a place where it's like, the next loss I make, I quit. And then I watch him and he quits. So let's see what we got. Waiting on tracking. Timberwolf, that's not fun for me, because he's going to go straight for the face again, meaning I could have Molten next turn. So I'm down to 8. And we got some issues here, because I'm going to need to heal up in a minute. Alright. That's a beautiful top deck. Alright, so I don't have coin. As much as I would love to do this with the Molten Giant, we're not going to. As much as I'd love to heal, we're going to have to wait, I think. So let's go ahead and take. I'm not tapping here, so there's no reason to do that. Defender of Argus, very nice. Unfortunately, didn't get that before, so... but I can watch her Argus next turn. Let's go ahead and taunt. 1 mana on the table. Let's see if we can stabilize, because right now he can still kill me in 4 turns. And he has another kill command, so he can actually get me to 1 right now. So I may have to do some crazy Soul Siphon shenanigans. There we go. And this is why we need our Argus. Would love an Argus Earthen Ring Farseer play, but... wow! Oh, that was not the card I expected. Alright, that is fun. Okay. Hellfire's pretty well timed here, except that it puts my life down again. So we are going to have to Giant to kill this. Alright. And let's just go ahead and heal up. Argus. We're going to have to make some quick work of this shit. Yeah. Doomsayer. Doomsayer versus a Molten Giant. That's interesting. So let's hear 3 turns till I'm dead. Okay, so we're going to Soul Siphon that, and we're going to have to test to see if that's Snipe, if that's Snake Trap. If it's Snake Trap, that's going to be really cute. Alright. Second Hellfire if I want to go for the draw. I really want to Faceless this. But first thing is going to be first. Let's go ahead and... healing's pretty important because I don't want him to Beast Kill command me. I want to get out of that range. And I guess since we're not Facelessing this turn, let's go ahead and drop this to test for Snipe. Maybe would have been better to test for Explosive Trap first. Okay, so... Alright, so... Did I miss lethal? No, I didn't. I almost did. Can he do 7 damage to me? If he beast, kill, command, hero power, I'm just screwed. Hogger. Unleash the hounds. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's it. Oh no, he took out everything that can attack. Oh, son of a bitch. But I got another trick up my sleeve here. Because all I gotta do, silence, power overwhelming, and we gotta do that in the right order. Soulfire, so we have lethal.
Well played.
And that's where the silence is extra golden. Extra important. So GG to you, Toxinia, you gave me quite the scare. But somehow managed to win, and that's where Hunter, Face Hunter especially, is a really tough matchup. You gotta get taunts up. That's why I have the 2 Sigins in there, because you get a lot of Face Warrior, Face Hunter, Face anything here. But, oh my god, 2 wins. Barely eked that one out. And that's one of the really fun things, especially without playing Alexstraza in this deck, is that you are on the cusp of dying all the time, and you have to very carefully watch your life total and say, this is how I'm not going to die here. Notice the heals that I got off at the end there. I mean, sure, he didn't actually do enough damage to get me down from 7 all the way below, but with the Earthen Ring Fire Seer there, with being willing to cast the, where's the card? The Siphon Soul here. Just those little extra bits of healing can make a large difference. And you saw that he never got the card draw Unleash play in there. I bet if he had, he would have drawn into his other kill command. Unless he tracked through it, which would have been tough for him, because kill command's one of those important reach cards. But here we go, Handlock, one more time, Redux, Molten Giant, Mountain Giant. You need 2 of these. Without these, you don't have giant decks. Yes, it's 1600 dust. It sucks. That's one reason I was just like, screw it, I'm going to open enough packs, running Arena and derping around with Quest, and eventually I'll get them, and I did. Other cards that are key here. Leroy Jenkins, I see more and more people run this. You didn't get to see the Shadow Flame Leroy combo. You didn't get to see the Wombo Faceless Leroy Power Overwhelming combo, but it's still important. Power Overwhelming is important for Shadow Flame and just for a finisher, like you saw in that last game there. Mortal Coil, I still like it for cycling, and I see so much aggro where there are 1 health creatures that usually I do get good value out of it. Soulfire is pretty much mandatory, but you gotta watch your hand. Some Fury Protector, I like the 2-to-1 balance here. I find that's enough taunt makers, too many and you get into trouble here. You can justify ditching 1 Hellfire, 1 Shadow Flame, but right now I'm not sure what I'd switch out unless it was an Iron Beak Owl. Maybe a Blood Mage Thalanos. Got an interruption there with a pop-up on a screen. Maybe Blood Mage Thalanos, I don't know, but yeah, that's the deck pretty much. Lots of things that work together. I really like Priest because there's a lot of synergy, and this is about the closest I can get to playing Priest on another class, which would be Warlock, and I'm really curious if I can make Giants Priest work. I don't think I can, but maybe it's a possibility that's out there in the future. But that's it for now. This is Way to Fail, another Hearthstone deck look. Call it a guide, call it what you want. Feel free to call me out on any misplays, especially if I had that first game in the bag somehow and there was just something I'm missing or I missed mulligan or what. But yeah, otherwise, hope you enjoyed it. Good luck running your own Handlocks or in your Hearthstone endeavors as well. See you next time.